Hey, what's going on, KVKL? Welcome to the KVKL podcast. I am your host, CJ Cobra Kai. Cougar, hit the music. I am CJ Cobra Kai. Whoa.
Hot mic.
Here with Ben Hutnick.
Howdy.
Jason Cougar Huang.
Ballin Mustang in the house. To my left.
Megan, the better half Hallman.
Thank you. Prettier half for sure.
Liz Schaefer.
No nickname?
And Seth Supersport Sanchez.
Free State Growlers. Grr.
We are here to review weeks 9 and 10, which took place this past weekend. And okay,
Hell of a day.
yeah. We are here at the lovely Jazz House, 920 and a half, Massachusetts. Tuesdays, $2.50, almost anything. So yeah, Rick, thanks for having us as always.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks,
Also, this week's sponsor, Ben, you wanna hit us up with that?
Red Lion Tavern.
All right.
I figured we owned the playoffs the past couple of years. So we might as well sponsor the podcast before the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think it's appropriate because we're the undercard for the heavyweight that's Happy Shirt sponsoring Cougar After Dark. So
Red Lions at 944 Massachusetts. Let's see, this Thursday, which is the 12th, 14th, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, either way. There's a Firestone Walker tap takeover. I will be there behind the bar serving drinks, so come down and we can talk kickball and drink delicious beer.
Cougar's bartending notwithstanding, some of the best bartenders in town.
I wish you guys could see his face right now.
Just a preview for going into next week. Basically, please move through your games relatively quickly. Also, we're going to need refs, volunteer refs for the 3:30 play-in games, or 3 o'clock.
I think it's 3:30.
3:30 play-in games. So get a hold of who? Scott
Yeah.
Stewart, if you want to volunteer for those games.
Scott preferably, but anybody on the board will work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we talk about some games?
Games are
Let's
good.
do.
All right. YSC 1, 5 o'clock. Wildman Attack Force 5. Happy Shirt 6.
Yet another close, crushing loss for Wildman.
Yeah, it was not
that
cool.
heartbreaking?
No, it really wasn't that heartbreaking. It was more frustrating than anything because we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. We knew we were going to probably give up 5-6 runs against Happy Shirt because they're just a really good team and that's what they score. We just kept shooting ourselves in the foot with either bad base running or just untimely kicks. It was...
Is it just me, or is it every game you have somebody get out on what would be a hero throw, but is more or less just an incidental ball in transit hitting somebody off the base?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay.
Every game I've seen.
8th inning. I think we're tied. We're still tied at this point. Turtle burns Chris Ford, who's out in left, gets a triple, rounds. While the ball is being cut off, it hits, who's their third baseman? Steve. It goes off his hands, just kind of gets tipped up, and Turtle is trying to stop. He stops, falls on the ground, and tries to crawl back to third base. While it hits Steve's fingertips, it kind of bounces off and then hits Turtle while he's on the ground, inches from the bag.
Wow.
And we could have taken the lead off the next kicker.
Yeah, it seemed like that was a crucial point in the game,
It was a very
That was a
crucial,
little
and that was the third
heartbreaking.
out too
That
of
was
the inning.
heartbreaking.
So it was just frustrating. We shot ourselves in the foot, and yeah, that's all. That's about all I can verbalize on that.
Well, there's always next week.
There's always next week, but yeah, I did have a bases clearing double. I got 3 RKIs on that with my bum leg. So.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
there we go.
Good for you.
All right. YSC 1, 6:30. Love Garden Squids 15. Rockets 2. Ouch.
Oh, Liz. The day did hurt. I I'm going to say this about both of our games because the same thing was true in our next game. We didn't have the defense this week that we...
Clearly.
Yeah, well, clearly, thanks. Yeah, we missed a lot of catches that we normally would have had for some reason. Just it wasn't our day. Obviously, you can tell that by the score. We didn't get shut out, but, obviously, we didn't do great either.
There is that.
Okay.
All right, next game.
All right. YSC 1, 8 o'clock. Kansas Tree Care 5, Muddy Waters 1. Anybody see this game?
No.
No.
Kenny, you here? Want to come and talk about this game?
Come on down,
Please.
Kenny.
Come on, Kenny.
Your game?
Your game.
Against
First
Muddy
one.
Waters.
Your second one,
I heard
most
you did
likely,
some
against
Matrix
Muddy Waters.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, this ended up being the game for the 1 seed.
Mike's over here.
Mike's right there.
Talking to the mic.
Talk into it.
Now I'm trying to actually think of how the
It's
game
not going to
went.
bite you.
Talking to the mic. Get closer. Get closer.
Use your velvety voice to describe
think-
the game.
Use your words.
Take your shirt off.
I know
Do your thoughts come better without a shirt?
I think so, but at least with a tank top. But
Was
Oh,
he around
um,
the
I think it was right at the end. Oh, that was against.
That was the one against
We'll come
us.
back
Yeah,
to that
against
one.
Free
We'll
State.
talk about that
We'll come
one
back to
later.
that.
Yeah, it was
And
unbelievable.
then-
I think this was the one where you were falling left and the ball shot right, and somehow you just went parallel and shucked it. Is that the wrong one?
Are we
Kenny, which
talking
one
about
do
the
you
one
think
for
we're
Muddy
talking
Waters?
about?
The one against Muddy Waters? Eli bunted down first, and I ran, and I got it, and all that.
We can talk about that when that other game comes up. But
So-
this we're
No,
talking
that's
about.
this one. That's this
No,
one.
it's
okay.
this
This is the one.
Okay.
It was Eli.
Oh wow.
Muddy Waters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Grabbed it, threw it kind of in the air, and hit Eli on the back of his foot. Got him before he hit first.
Nice.
And that was
Not
the second.
once. Not once, but twice to Eli in the same game. And he was on the foul side of first base throwing behind himself to get to him.
Yay,
crazy.
Kenny.
Damn,
It was better explained by somebody else. There you go.
Nobody fucks with the kickball Jesus.
Thanks, Kenny.
All right, there we go. YSC 1, 9:30. Rockets 1. Hertz Donut D-Holes 15. Jesus Christ.
I know, right?
Rough weekend for the Rockets.
Not good.
And yet you guys are sitting next to each other
Yeah, I
right now.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
figure.
I still love her. I think she
still
still
love
loves
you.
me.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
sweet.
Oh, we were kind of playing angry because we lost our first game, and that was
Spoiler
totally
alert.
on us. It was completely on us. But no, everything that we didn't do right in the first game suddenly clicked in the second, and people were just firing off kicks right and left, moving people around. It was great.
Your offense was good. It was. I mean, our defense was definitely off, but your offense was on point.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
game.
Is that it? Okay. YSC 2, 5 o'clock. Kansas Tree Care 6. Free State Growlers 3. Seth.
So now we can talk about that incredible play that Kenny made.
Yeah, there you go.
So it was 4-2 middle innings. I don't know, 6th or 7th maybe. And we're up, bases loaded, 2 outs. Our guy hits a hot shot to basically to third base, and so your girl who was at bunt block or who was at rover, it kind of like rolled up her arm and went, I don't know, 8, 9 feet up in the air. Kenny off the mound comes out of nowhere, bats the ball, goes up and gets it, bats the ball down one-handed, and it hits our guy on the top of the head. So it should have been a headshot, but that's neither here nor there. And got him out of the inning. And
Did he
so,
duck though? If you duck,
Yeah, I don't know. Knocked his
take
glasses
the head
off.
play out of.
Defensive move,
Yeah.
man.
James Finley was reffing. He says it didn't hit him in the head. But yeah, that was the play of the game. I mean, if we score there, it's 4-3, and bases are still loaded, and we got our number 2 kicker up. So they put a couple more on us, and we rallied in the 9th, but didn't have enough. It was a good game. It was fun.
Yeah. All right. Okay. YSC 2, 6:30. Red Lion 8. Red Legs 5.
Ooh, it's the Alpha and Omega
Got
game.
you all in check.
I see James sitting out there. So, James, since you lost the
Friendly.
Battle of the Red
Come
L's,
on
what's your new
down.
team name gonna be?
I
You
heard
can
there was a
talk
lot
first.
of shit talking before this game
Chris,
too.
Chris wouldn't take that bet with me.
Oh, forget that noise.
Yeah,
He's not
sorry,
Pete
Chris.
Rose.
He's only the captain. I'm the assistant captain. Everybody knows
I
I'm
don't
the
even
puppet
think I
master.
don't even think he played in that game. So,
Yeah,
yeah, we failed to rotate defensively to the first baseline bunt. I think that's probably where 6 of those runs came from. So
Yeah, I think you'd agree. Probably pretty freaking evenly matched teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great game. They beat us pretty solidly. I think, with the exception of the first inning, I think we scored runs on you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I think you guys took it all from us. So I don't know.
Yeah, we had a good early day. Late enough so that we had some booze in us, and not so late that we were wasted. And I did. Had Troy been cutting that off for a while? Because he brought back the shotgun in this game. It looked like.
Wait, had he not? No,
Yeah, I
he's
heard
been
he hadn't been shotgunning every
No,
game.
no, every game.
He was shot-
He does
he
at least
with
2 a
us.
game.
All right,
He
okay,
rocked
good.
Yeah, he does at least 2 a game.
I hate to think that he's getting too old.
It's
for
not
it
an
or
every
something.
at-bat situation anymore.
It
It's more
was
of a
during the
It was
game of the
for- it
week.
was for game
During
of the week when we
week.
played
Every
him,
time
yeah.
he came up, he did it. Even when Andy came up, I think he.
Yeah, I think every opportunity,
Yeah.
he definitely took it.
Troy's my boy.
Good game.
I love
Cheers.
that guy.
So wait, I do have to ask you a question, James. I heard that you and Shauna had a little shit talk session before it, and you threatened to ride her like a pony in this game.
I don't know. I must have been really drunk after a game. It was evidently like after
No
week
way.
5. It was like after week 5. I don't know. I don't remember it.
So she remembers this very distinctly, and she came up and was so thrilled that she threw you out at third. And not only that, afterwards came up and said, "Who's riding who?"
Yeah, she did say that. That was pretty good. Pretty good shit talk.
Now I've got a disturbing picture in my mind too.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
it was fun. It was a wild ride. I really bucked her
Wordplay.
around a lot.
Thanks,
Made
James.
it tough.
Yep. Thanks, Steve. YSC 2, 8 o'clock. Channel 6, 9. Wildman Attack 4, 6. Jesus
Get
Christ.
your shit.
What happened,
3
CJ?
games, 3 just frustrating results. Basically the story of the last 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from Channel 6, but I'm just looking at this purely from our perspective that we just kept shooting ourselves in the foot. Channel 6 played really well. Like, Isaac did really well. What's her name?
Cheyenne,
Shine.
Angela.
No. They're
Angela?
number 2, kicker.
Angela.
Angela.
Angela, yeah.
They were basically the ones who kind of killed us. Like they kept innings alive and they got on base and did their job. It was just a really good job on their part. Just same thing as last week and the game before that. Just lots of base running and
Freakish
defensive
side note
errors
here.
that we normally don't make. But we'll get those shored up for the playoffs and
You hope.
we'll be all right.
Fingers crossed, CJ. Fingers
I
crossed.
said you hope.
No, we got it ready to go. We got our lineup ready to go.
It's like interesting side note. Well, a couple actually, I guess. I've noticed more and more that especially the teams in say the top 10, top 15, are just getting more and more aggressive on the base paths, and that's leading to more and more close calls. So it just seems like especially every game I've repped that was against top competition this year, there have just been a shitload of close calls everywhere.
Yeah.
And so the games end up being more likely to turn on which team gets the benefit of those calls, which team ends up shooting themselves in the foot, so to speak, by being too aggressive maybe sometimes. But there was also that weird thing in this game that happened in the game before too, where somebody bunted and then double kicked it, but they had already taken a step and they were in fair territory.
Yeah.
Or weren't, depending on your point of view, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that happen before, and nobody ever calls it. It was like 2 times in 2 games, just really bizarre.
And and it went against us both times where the person should have been out and it wasn't called. So yeah, we just have not gotten any calls that kind of, when they're close, they've kind of gone against us. So it kind of sucks. But anyway, next game, YC 2, 9:30. Red Lion 1, Love Garden Squids 9. Ben.
Woo, Red Lion!
Where'd you go, guys?
Well, I called this, so I feel like I had to make it happen. I'm not joking, actually. So I think, say Spencer on Love Garden had been ill, then I think the score would have been like 2 or 3 to 1. But he bombed 3. One of them was just over right field. One of them, Jared and I switched center, and I lost it in the night. And the third one, Jared dropped, like I dropped the second one. And I think out of those 3 deep kicks, he probably, including the runs that he scored, got 6 RKIs out of it. He was just a monster all day.
Wait,
I
he had
asked
3
him.
home runs.
No, he might have just got like a double or a triple on one of them, but
Okay.
I think he had at least 2. Anyway, I asked him on one of them if he sacrificed a live chicken before the game or something like that. Something wasn't right there. Anyway, but he was excellent. The whole team was solid. But it was a fun game. No serious arguments or anything like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. YSC 3, 5 o'clock, Channel 6, 2, Muddy Water Studio 6. Anybody catch this game?
I watched this one. Channel 6 was actually missing a few people, namely Cheyenne, so they had a new catcher. And I think they also had a few new people on the field. So with all that and not having your stable core, it really showed. Usually they're impeccable at their line drive kicks, and everything just seemed to pop up. They could not manufacture the runs. They should have been bunting, and instead they were kicking away with wind in, so everything just went straight up.
Okay. Avery?
Yeah, I umped this game, and yeah, Channel 6 popped a lot of stuff up. They didn't have a very productive offense,
And there were a lot of uncharacteristic errors in the defense, too.
yeah, I think they really missed Cheyenne. And then Muddy Waters had a lot better offense than when they only beat us 1-0. So
Yeah.
that was impressive. And then also,
You would hope they would.
yeah, more than one run. Then I guess they went back to that against Kansas Tree Care because I heard in that game they'd like popped a lot of stuff up.
Yeah.
It's weird going at these games non-chronologically
Yeah.
because this happened before they lost to
Yeah.
Tree Care. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. That was a good game.
Avery, we're going to have you stay right there because we have YSC 3 at 6:30, Hertz Donut D-Holes 9, Goats 10. Avery, you want to go first?
Yeah, we had a big first inning in this game. I think we scored 6, and we were up, I think 8-0. And then they had a big inning, scored 4, and then the 8th, they tied it at 9 with us, and we manufactured 1 run in the 9th. They let off and then hit into a double play at our pitcher, and then they still with 2 outs managed to get first and third, and then Ethan ended the game on.
He bunted up first base instead of third.
Yeah, he got thrown out on a bunt up the first base line to end the game. So yeah, it was a really tight game.
Yeah. Okay. Megan, what do you have from your perspective?
I'm not going to lie. We were missing a few people, and we moved some people around, and we just totally shit the bed the first inning. I mean, we couldn't kick the first inning very well. We made ridiculous drops. We played way too deep for this, too. With the wind coming in, I don't think we thought they had bigger legs than what we imagined. So we were standing so far out in the grass, and everything was just dropping a foot, 2 feet in front of us, and we really didn't make those defensive changes probably until the second or third inning. And once we did that, that's when we were starting to come back.
Oh yeah, those goats' legs are super weak. I mean, they're tiny, tiny goat legs.
I will say, I will give props to the team because notoriously when we are so far behind, it's really hard for us to come back. And we were down by what? 8-0 at one point, and
That's a pretty good showing after
Yeah,
people
that.
just
that
kind of
is.
stuck with it, and we were able to tie it up. We couldn't deliver at the end.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you got the win anyway. Oh wait, no, Goats did. Never mind. My bad.
They won later.
I
They
won
won their
in my
second
heart.
game.
Whatevs. All right, YSC 3, 8 o'clock. Free State Growlers 2, Happy Shirt 12.
Yeah, this was an old school Free State Growler performance. That hour and a half in between games, that led to a lot of mangaritas, and it didn't serve us well. We scored the first run of the game, and we were feeling really good. We were like, man, we're the perfect drunk for this. And then they scored 12 in a row, and we got way too drunk. So we're gonna work on that for playoffs because it's gonna be a lot more double.
You know what?
headers in
I
the
hope
future.
you do because,
Yeah.
like, dude, that,
It was not a great game on our part, but
I feel like when I was watching this, the song Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better was just playing on loop in my head because you guys were great. You didn't play poorly by any means. It was just you put on this amazing show, and then they stepped up. They're like, yeah,
we're still
happy
Happy Shirt. Yeah.
We're Happy Shirt.
Yeah.
okay. YSC 3, 9:30. Goats 3, Redlegs 6. Who wants to go first, Avery or James?
I think you guys should fist fight to see.
Race.
who's-
Come on, just race up. Whoever gets up
Bring 'em
first
on.
gets to start.
Avery will
Bring 'em
have
on.
you go first.
Neck
Come
and
on.
neck. Who's gonna win?
Oh my God.
Who's gonna win?
Everyone.
Inside
Avery.
track.
Did this game start late or just take for fucking ever? Because it seemed like you guys were playing until.
Yeah, you guys were the
It
last
took a
ones.
while. Yeah.
There's a couple of weird things. There was like an injury where I broke this guy's finger in center field on the liner. 'Cause I'm so strong. Because I had these.
Thumb. It wasn't even speaking.
Yeah, he called it a finger, which makes me worry for his career as a trainer.
First finger.
I texted him that.
He's a neurologist.
Did you break Sports Kid?
Yeah, it's sports good. It's just a hyperextended thumb, though. I said it was swollen.
Oh, okay.
Thank
That's not too
goodness.
bad.
I hate to see
Fine.
that.
I saw it. It's cool.
Hate to think that sports kids' finger banging days are done.
Thanks.
His name is
Yeah.
Ian.
That's
It's a
chocolate
thumb.
abuse.
He's gonna get his left thumb right back in the game. Don't worry about sports. You have anything?
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, what happened? I felt like Jenny threw a whole bunch of fucking shitty pitches. Everybody knows how bad her pitches are. Everybody knows how bad her pitches are. So we sat around, we took a bunch of pitches, and we got, I don't know, a couple of arguments. I don't know. It was fun.
Who was pitching when your batter requested it through the legs and she totally nailed it? And then you tried to.
She
save-
was kicking, and Joby was catching.
Okay, yeah.
And
Somebody
Troy
requested
pitched.
the ball through the legs, and so the pitcher rolled it right through the legs, and the girl bunted it. And the catcher was standing on the first base side, and they tried to argue that it was interference, and it was like, you requested the ball
she
through the
move?
legs. No, the catcher just stood there.
And I will turn this on you. You're gonna sound ridiculous because he did just stand there. He didn't make a play on the ball, and he blocked our runner.
He was standing where he was when the play started.
And he needs to move out of the way because it's the base path.
She kicked it behind him. He couldn't see the play.
Game's over, guys.
All right.
Oh,
We
the
would've
game has
scored
just
6
begun.
Had it gone through.
Clearly.
Get
it
that
hasn't
tournament
ended.
bracket out. Do we have the possibility
That's
of a
better.
Red Legs Ghost rematch here?
Yeah.
It'll be in a semifinal because you guys are at 6 and we're at 10, so it'll be a
I think-
2-3 style matchup.
Yeah, that'd be a
You
semifinal.
gotta get through Muddy Waters and Love Garden.
All right.
I believe.
It'll
All
be
right.
semifinal, yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
YSC 5 o'clock, Nick Lerner's homies. 8, Asteroid Head 6?
Cougar.
What the hell?
Whoa.
Was
Stop
it
the presses. Did we win this game? Holy crap.
God, what
No,
the
this is
hell?
like, I was surprised that we beat Astrohead. Because after the loss against Grandstand, 8-7, my fault.
Really, everyone is like
Yeah,
surprised. you
pretty
guys
good.
did
I'm
that.
surprised
Pretty
too. I'm still surprised.
I saw Jeff Halber, who still fucking sucks, after the game and talked to him. And he said that they won, like you guys had won, and
Yeah,
I was just like,
yeah.
you gotta be fucking kidding me. You guys beat
Yeah.
Asteroid Head?
Yeah, we did. Asteroid Head, they did not kick well. And I'm not, they're missing Pat Watkins, their best kicker. Who basically kick a ball through a concrete wall. He's a former collegiate soccer player. So that's
Yeah.
a big loss for Asteroid Head. They really bunt at all, maybe once, but they just really couldn't kick. And luckily for the homies here, we bunted, played small ball, load them up, and then did a decent job, driving them in the scoring position. And it was down by, and then at the very end, bases were loaded. Clinton was up at the plate. Me as a pitcher, I'm like, crap, down 2. And luckily, he kicked it to Jeff, and he did not fuck up. You're the Rashad catcher, got the final out.
What a dick.
I know. So,
All right.
woohoo, we won.
Okay.
I'm so shocked.
YSC 5, 6:30. Liberty Hall late fees 11. Bad News Bagels 16.
I ref this game. Basically, it was typical. Would you expect of bagels and late fees? A little higher scoring game. Defense not
because the
premium.
defense is stuck.
But because defense is kind of stuck. They did. Both of them were scuffing and just making these wacky errors and so forth. But
Whimsical errors.
Yeah, whimsical errors, exactly. With bagels, they made less errors than the late fees, and bagels made them pay for it. That's pretty much how the game went.
All right. Well, there we go.
So they were less shitty? Is that what you
They
said?
were less shitty, exactly.
Very good.
They were less shitty. Yes.
All right, YSC 5, 8 o'clock. Grandstand Glass Kickers 10. Leafy Greens 11.
Yeah,
Leafy Greens!
Congratulations.
Smoke that mofo.
Yeah, I talked to Kristen. She said it was a little crazy because everybody on the field was wearing green.
That's right. They were.
Yeah.
They were wearing green.
It
that's
wasn't
right.
the best decision on either part, I guess. But yeah, she said. What?
That's for
Message to
Cougar.
Oh. Is that a love note?
Oh, stop it.
Oh, Cougar, you have an admirer.
Yeah.
That's for the next game. No, it's for the next game. It's actually the wrong game he's talking about.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it later.
All right.
when you
Basically,
get there.
Kristen said that their Leafy Greens Lady Rover, sorry, I don't know your names yet, made some great throws.
Nice.
Kristen was rounding third, was running home, and from Rover, she just kind of chucked it and managed to tag her out on the way, crossing the plate. She said both teams played great. Actually, the Glass Kickers led the majority of the game. They thought they had it in the bag, and she said somewhere around the 7th inning, they had just this horrific error, and it pretty much allowed Leafy Greens back into the game. And in the bottom of the 9th, with 2 outs, Leafy Greens were able to squeak one by to win.
Oh, it was a walk-off?
Wow, it was
Yeah.
a walk-off?
Oh,
Was it?
wow.
Another walk-off. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So good on you, Leafy Greens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right. YSC 5, 9:30. Liberty Hall late fees, 7. Where's my pitches, 15.
Rough day for Liberty Hall. Looks
Yeah,
like.
really rough day. Anybody see this game?
I didn't. I'm not surprised by the results.
Yeah,
doubling
yeah.
them up, so I'm not surprised. So.
Sorry, guys. We're going on to the next game. YSC 6, 5 o'clock. Grandstand Glass Kickers, 23. Johnny's Tavern, 27?
No, that's a 3.
Not
That's
23.
3.
That's
That's
just
not
3.
23.
No, it's much worse than it looked like.
It was just 3.
I was going to say, holy shit.
DJ, you okay, buddy?
Glass Kickers. Holy shit.
You said 23 for
No,
grass
no,
stand.
3. I said 3.
You said 20.
You said
You said
23.
23.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Whatever. I might have bought
Timothy,
CJ a
get your
shot
butt
at
up
the red
here.
line before
Where
we
are you?
got here.
Yeah,
so-
whatever.
Fredrickson, where are you? Get up here. Talk. Get up here. My former subordinate. I ordered you to talk there, Tim. It was 27-3. You guys beat Grandstand.
By a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot.
What happened?
Well, first inning, I think we kicked all the way through our lineup and then almost to the halfway through. And then I think we did it again in another inning. We dominated on their mistakes.
Yeah.
We had some hero throws. I think we had 3 or 4 home runs in that game. I mean, Glass Kickers, it was a really fun team to play against. I'm just kind of sorry the score kind of wound up that high, but it kind of wound up that high
But
real
did you
quick.
guys have fun?
Don't be sorry.
Oh, yeah, we
Don't
had
be
lots
sorry.
of fun.
Tim, mercy is for the weak, all right?
It is, and that's why,
Yes.
Own it.
I'm
Be
not
angry,
really that
Johnnies.
sorry. I kind of am.
Yeah,
I really
good.
am angry. But, yeah, team really put it together.
Yeah.
Everybody played lights out. That's about it.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
All right. Thanks, you.
Rock and roll.
Like those shorts.
YSC 6, 6:30. Brew Ballers, 3. Screamers, 7.
Screamers! Yes,
Yeah.
again. I picked them.
Oh!
That's right. Yes. Feel good about it.
I'm really glad
see a
Liz wasn't on the
scandalous in the
picks,
audience.
actually, because she seems to nail all this shit.
Anybody have anything to say other than that?
All right. We
All right.
can end on that note.
Chelsea's right
YSC
here.
6, 8 o'clock. Nick Lerner's
Chelsea
homies, 23. Repetition Coffee, 3.
Ooh, this was another no mercy game.
Basically, what my mentality was, I'm not going to make the same mistake as Grandstand and make these cutesy lineup to be okay. You know what? Just make the lineup, go through, and just play. And that's how it was. And jumped on early, bunted, played small ball, kicked away, and that's all she wrote.
All right.
Okay.
Seriously, that was it. So
YSC 6, 9:30. Bad News Bagels 6. Screamers 13.
Yeah, here she comes.
Yeah.
We got
I ref
Chelsea
this
coming
game.
up
Chelsea was
here.
there.
What do we got?
Yes, Cougar did ref this game. I want to say, Ben, I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
On the very first inning, Ben Wright was running into home, and there was like a divot in front of the plate, and he wiped out
Ooh.
Yeah,
and
he did.
was out for the rest of the game. So
on his
hopefully
right ankle.
he's
yeah.
But he touched home
Hopefully he's
plate.
all right.
He did touch home
Like
plate.
he did
Yeah.
score.
That would have been bad to
So-
just like.
So hopefully
Crash
he's
out
able
like
to
that,
play
be
this
tagged out.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Thinking about you, buddy.
All right.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Oh no! I mean, I ref this game. I mean, Screamers kicked well, and Bagels couldn't get anything going on offense, and that was pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. So
All right. YSC 7, 5 o'clock. Leafy Greens 5. Repetition Coffee 4.
Close game.
Wow, Leafy.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah,
Battle
I was
of the
just gonna
newest
say-
new teams.
Yeah, so for a new team who hasn't won all season to win back-to-back one-run games, that's pretty impressive. I mean,
Yeah, very impressive. Anybody see this game?
No,
I
unfortunately
did not.
Cougar, what does that that napkin say in front of you?
Oh, okay, let me go back to the game real quick. Well, sorry, but Repetition Covenant and the homies. So the bet was, I said the homies win by 6, and the bet was that if the homies won by 6, that Thomas would wear like a hammock bikini or like that, a bathing suit.
Banana hammock.
But if I lost, we didn't win by 6, or even lost the game, I wear some sort of dress. I'm like, I'm not that confident in my team. We lost a grandstand last week. I have no
There's something
way
you want to
confident.
hear from your captain. I'm not that confident in my team.
To win by 6, to take this bet.
He's
To take this
realistic. You gotta
bet.
hand it to him. He's not
bet.
a dreamer.
I'm not confident to take this bet because I'm like, I am valiant, but to take this bet, but we just lost a grandstand last. What makes me think I can be not confident win by 6? So
This
that's
is
it.
reverse psychology
Dude, you guys
extraordinary.
won by
Perhaps
20.
it was, yeah.
YSC 7, 630. Where's my pitches? 6. Leeway Franks 14.
Yeah.
Did not see this one
I did not
coming.
see this coming, no.
Wiener's rocking the pitches.
Yeah.
Did you call this one, Liz?
Anybody see this one?
No, absolutely not.
Hey, Taylor, if you're not going to come down, at least wave at us.
All
All right.
Taylor, do
there
you
we
have shoes on
go.
tonight?
One of these days, we'll make you. Taylor, you will talk one of these days. So.
All right. YSC 7 at 8. Asteroid Head 6. Johnny's Tavern 14.
What
Look
is
what's
going
over here.
on,
Jesus.
Asteroid Head?
This was essentially the battle
Roll
for the
on up
division.
Yeah.
What's going on is that Johnny's is showing up to play some games and really proving themselves.
Absolutely, they are.
Good.
Late in the
They
nip.
are.
About goddamn time, really.
Well, it's, a lot of you up there didn't think we could even come close. No, by the way, Cougar, we did beat them by 8, like you said we would. So.
And by the way, I picked you guys to win the 6. What are you talking
You
about?
proved Cougar right.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking.
I also picked you guys to win the 6.
Talking to
Everyone
most
feels
people.
Asteroid Head. What are you talking about?
I'm talking to most of the people.
Oh, most of them. I was talking to you.
It's
Like,
not
what
me,
did I
it's
do?
my first time.
Okay, so.
And to say that game, we knew what we needed to do, and we needed to keep Asteroid Head from getting on bases and getting hot, and that's exactly what we did.
Yep.
Asteroid Head is notoriously good for kicking to the holes, and they did that. But we would just get it out when we needed it to, and stop get it forced out, and our offense really kept on going. We kept on that heat that we got from the first game and kept it rolling.
Plug those holes.
All right.
Yeah. They put the kickball
Thanks, Tim.
condom on the head.
YSC 7, 930. Brew Ballers 3. Leeway Franks 2.
Oh, squeaker.
Didn't call us
Squeaker.
one. Did not call us one.
Wow.
Anybody see this game?
I didn't.
No.
No.
Tim did.
Did
Mr.
Brew
Frederickson
Ballers
did.
have all their players?
Was there to ref the game, and I think Brew Brawlers got up right in like the first inning, and then not to make anybody like upset from what I'm about to say is like then it was like a really boring game for the other.
That's okay.
Other
No,
seven
it's
innings.
honest.
I've
It's okay,
seen
be
plenty of
honest.
boring
Get
kickball
on
games.
base, then outs, get on base, and outs.
Tim
and
is
then,
like-
and then in the ninth inning, I mean, it really started picking up. They started coming back, and then they just
It was 3 to 2.
capitalized on it. Well, still, they didn't have scored, and then they scored. So. But,
If I can paraphrase, Tim, you were repping, but you didn't pay attention.
Hey, I think we all understand that it had been a long day that day, okay?
Yeah.
All right? And I had played 2 games, and then it was time to relax, quote unquote.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Timothy.
Thanks for repping.
Holcomb Red, 5 o'clock. Das Boot, 9. Ghosts, 0.
Ouch.
Did not call the shutout.
Yeah, I did not call
Yeah.
that. Tom, you got anything?
He's not even paying attention.
Yeah.
K to K.
All right, Katie.
All right, next game.
All right, next game. Holcomb Red, 630. Rats, 2. Corksuckers, 4. Anybody got something on this game?
Nope.
No.
No.
All right.
Not
next
surprising.
game. Yeah, not really that surprising. Holcomb Red, 8 o'clock. Merchants of Death, 3. Ghosts, 2.
This surprises me because
Yeah.
I felt like last week everyone said Merchants was going to blow Ghosts out of the water and that,
And you said ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Merchants
Derek
isn't as
Pop
good as
Up
Derek.
Davis.
Derek, go ahead and rub it in Liz's
what does
face
Derek
being
have
wrong.
to say
Be
about it?
careful where you put that
Unlike
comma.
Cougar, I have total confidence in my team. It was our second game, so it was a long day. But our offense wasn't rolling as well as we should have, but our defense was holding it down. until like the 9th inning where they
Got two.
They
Yeah.
poked their head with a comeback, and maybe a controversial call or not, I'm not going to go into it. But they played well, and we squeaked by. So
Okay.
This looks like it's like a 4-hitter through 7, something like
There
that.
was an interference call in that game that pushed the runners around and helped the Ghosts get base runners.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
All right. next
Good
game.
on them for calling interference when they're
Yeah.
supposed to.
Lots of pitches.
Every
Lots
game
of
had a
pitches.
lot of pitches. Every freaking game this week
You
had
know
a lot
what?
of
Now that
frickin'
there's
pitches.
the playoffs, there's going to be so many more taken this
Not
week.
me. Fuck that noise.
Pitchers' butts are going to be looking so
Holcomb Red,
good.
9:30.
At least that one.
Poshwash 3, Rats 4.
Poshwash had been living dangerously, winning 1-run games, and it
Yeah.
came around and got you on this one, it looks like.
no excuses, but we were missing our first baseman and our center fielder, who's our captain.
That sounds like an
It
excuse.
was rough.
Exactly like an excuse.
It was rough playing with exactly enough people to play the game, so it was just a tough game for us, both of our games this week.
I ref this game, and there was another tough call at first, another interference run, which pushed a run through, loaded the base. Bases were already loaded, but it pushed a run through to, I think, tie it for the Rats, and then they put one up, and that was pretty much the game after that. So,
All right.
I picked the puppies here, but you know what? I forgot. This is the KBKL. The bad guy always wins.
That's the bad guys? All right.
Well, I mean, rats over puppies. He was
Oh.
the bad guy there.
Yeah. Holcomb Blue, 5 o'clock. Chalmers 11. Merchants of Death 3.
So are Chalmers' 11-3 good, or did they once again just win by 8 because that's all they had to win by?
like apparently a lot of teams, our first 3 innings were terrible. We, at the last minute, had 3 people not show up or not going to make it, and we had to rotate our defense around, and it took us a good 3 innings for everybody to sync back up.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in the 4th inning, you can see we started shutting them down on the defensive side, and we slowly tried to poke back. But they're a solid team. They, like that first 2 innings, it was like they could do no wrong. Every kick was a base hit. Every time they got on bag, they took an extra base. They were aggressive, and we couldn't compensate for it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, Rashna said that they had they were a little bit more aggressive on their base running this time around. They've been working on that a little bit. I think it showed. So
They're going to need
Good.
it.
Okay. Holcomb Blue, 6:30. Ladybird Harpies, 11. Jazz House, 12.
whoa.
Walk off, right?
Yep.
Rick,
Won it in the bottom
Yes,
of the
it
ninth.
was.
Rick, come on down. What do you got for us, Rick?
Damn, look at this. Everybody scored a ton of runs in the ninth.
This was a real exciting game. It started off when we scored 6 runs in the first inning, and then Derek's like, hey, dudes. And I'm like, what? All right, okay, yeah, I've got a lineup here, okay. Well, it turned out that a couple of my knuckleheads, one guy didn't bat at all, and then another guy figured, well, if he's not going to bat, I'm going to bat. And so he batted, so we had a out-of-order situation. We scored 3 runs of our 6 runs after the out-of-order situation. Rick, being the nice guy that he is, said, fruit of the poison tree, none of those runs count after we batted out of order, because that's the second and third out. So that was three runs that got taken away in the first inning. But we don't care. We kept playing. We kept scoring. We had them. I mean, they were so bad. I mean, we were awesome. Believe me. And at any rate, and then all of a sudden in the 9th inning, we completely shit the bed.
Yeah.
And they scored 7 runs
Yeah.
in the top of the 9th to take a 2-run lead. My team was somewhat dispirited, but their amazing coach said, chin up, buck up, we can win this. Come on, kids, you losers, let's win this goddamn game. And we won it, and it was a great game.
You gave him the Eric person.
Stacy, care to
what do you
rebut?
got for us?
Do you care to rebut?
Well, no,
Beat
now,
that.
that's hard to follow. I just said, yeah. I was like, shit. Now what am I going to say? We also too, like Megan said with her game, Grant tried to move some people around to change things up a bit because we lost a couple of our players due to injuries, and it was a huge mistake. bad move. It was not good at all. So we recovered from that, but we just weren't able to come back. We had a lot of hero throws. Our young guys just can't control themselves sometimes.
Because they're young. They have poor impulse control when they're young.
People under 23 playing kickball is like teenagers with their penises. It's like a fire hose.
Exactly. Everything seems like a good idea at that age. Yeah.
But it was an awesome game. It was really fun to play the Jazz House. We had a great time. So.
Awesome.
Thank you, Stacy.
Why are you here?
From a slightly unbiased point of view.
Speaking of Vatican
to point out, I tried to call the interference, and everybody assured me that I was wrong, so I let it go, and then Rick humbly came up and confessed his crimes. But at the very end of the game, like she said, their young guys pretty much cost the game for them. It was 2 outs. 2 outs, pop-up to center fielder, and out of nowhere, the right fielder just flies by at a horizontal angle and just, tips the ball out of everybody's hands for the runs to go through.
Did they communicate that I got it? Do you know?
I was too far away, but
no, they didn't.
Center fielder had clear position. He was in the squat position, ready to catch it, and the guy just shot out like a rock. So, your leadoff guy. But I mean, it was a good game. Harpies had it until that last second. So
yeah. Well, I mean, on the plus side, Stacy, I mean, Abraham Lincoln also made mistakes, and
Babraham Lincoln.
Yeah, Babraham. Look where Abraham Lincoln. Gosh. Oh wait, he got shot in the back and died. Best of luck, Grant.
Too soon, Ben. It's too.
No, it's not too soon. It's been over 100 years.
At least he was cultured at the theater.
On a lighter note, Holcomb Blue 8 o'clock. Chalmers is 8.
Lighter note for
Secret Sword 6. A lot closer than I expected this game to be.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Anybody see this game?
I do know that the entire Chalmers team, in between the first game and this game, I think downed an entire bottle of whiskey. So maybe that had something to do with it.
That'll do it.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
That does sound like an
Whiskey
excuse.
is never the question, it's always the answer, and the answer is always yes.
Wrong.
Yeah, whiskey's not an excuse, it's a reason for everything.
Yeah. Okay. So, moving on.
Yeah.
Holcomb Blue, 9:30. Ladybird Harpies, 4. Corksuckers, 8. Stacy, you got anything for us? Okay. All right.
Thank you, Stacy.
All right. So, we are moving on. Holcomb Gold, 5 o'clock. Sacred Sword, 5. Woost, 4. Wow.
And I picked the underdog on this one, and I was proven correct.
Sacred Sword putting up some really good showings here at the end of the season.
At the end of the season.
This is surprising with Woost that they can't score runs right now.
Well,
I mean, Woost used to put up 10 runs a game, no problem, and now they haven't.
Because they're
been
too
scoring anything.
Jan-centric.
Yeah.
They're Jan-centric.
And Jackie did say that Sacred Sword earned their name back, Sacred Bunt, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Sacred throw a lot of pitches. It was a very long game. There was both teams taking lots
who
of
was
pitches.
pitching?
You know,
Mary.
they switched about. It was mostly Mary, but I think.
Yeah, I knew it. It was Mary.
Meatballs all day.
But it was probably the longest game of the day. I think it felt like
Mary,
it,
quite
watching
contrary.
it. Just
Throw me
took
a
forever.
fucking strike.
God damn it, I love Mary. All right, Holcomb Gold, 6:30. Poshwash, 1. Los Matadores, 4. Low scoring affair here.
Come back up, Aaron.
You want to talk, Aaron?
Or no?
Yes.
All right.
Come on up.
So it was exactly the same as my later game. We just couldn't move the runners around. Just kind of got stuck on base. 2 games in a row.
You guys ever think about futzing with the lineup at all?
We change it almost every week to try to find the best one, but we don't have the same people back every week. It's tricky.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I'm still rooting for the puppies in the playoffs.
Holcomb Gold, 8 o'clock. Das Boot, 11. Woost, 1. Jesus.
Got to say, that's a hell of a day from Das Boot playing 2 games and giving up 1 run total.
Yeah. Jackie said they
Tom,
stranded.
you got anything?
No.
All right,
Come
Tom,
on,
come
Tom.
on down.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm picturing you wearing a banana hammock.
I don't. God, that's a stupid bet. I'm thankful to do.
I guess really we allowed 1 run in 3 games because we had the shutout against Sacred
Yep.
Sword also.
Nice.
So we went 40-1, which I think is pretty all right.
Hey, it's not bad.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's like
I mean, I've seen better.
that's like
One wild man game.
I don't know. They just are deep. I mean, we were kind of short. We were only playing 10 people for both games.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That makes it even more impressive
yeah.
this whole weekend.
Yeah, we had no switch kicking anywhere. Just
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah, definitely. Once you find that.
I think it allows people to get in their groove a little bit
Exactly.
better.
Like
Yeah,
we,
definitely
we
one of
got
those things.
into our little shtick and made it work. Roost keeps doing its weird thing of switching Dan wherever, which I still don't get because
I don't get it either.
He's
Yeah.
underutilized at pitcher, but then no one's going to kick to his center field.
Yeah, you
Like,
notice the
Yeah.
game of the week they're making against you guys are Hurts. They just moved Dan all over the place.
But
They
that's
don't
the
let him
thing, like with
sit- they don't let him
Woos,
sit here.
like that's the thing that sucks about Woos. Like once you move Dan to a certain position, all you got to do is just like go anywhere
Just
else.
avoid
Basically.
Dan.
Yeah,
Well,
just avoid
it's
Dan.
virtual defense.
Let's not
Yeah.
super
It
try
really
to minimize.
is.
I really think they should do what they do in the NBA, where like they clear out the floor for Steph Curry. Like they should just put the other 9 players on
Like
third
a-
base and have
like a
Dan play the rest of
A
the game.
1-4 low where like
Right,
Steph
yeah.
Curry is the only one out, and then everyone's just on the baseline.
Yeah.
Just 1-on-1.
Yeah, the other
do
9
this
people are
over
playing
the corner.
catcher. Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much what the game was. We
Okay.
just kept it away from him and got on and kept going.
Yeah, Jackie said that they tended to strand their runners on base quite a bit.
A lot of times. They, I don't think they got to. Well, they didn't score until the 7th inning, I think, and that was on an error at first base. Adam Aldred had a triple and a sac fly.
I guess there was one rule that they told the entire team, and it was, for the love of God, don't kick to center field.
And I think
think every single one of them did.
he had about 17 outs. Yeah.
Yeah, Terminator.
Josh.
Good on you, man.
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah.
Every single time. Kick it to Josh.
Jesus.
No,
How many times did Danielle Shiza?
I don't recall.
Too many to
It was
count.
probably under his breath, so I didn't hear it all.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Holcomb Gold 930, Jazz House 8, Los Matadores 5. Wow! Yeah,
Well
Rick.
done, Rick. 2 wins. How
Jazz
about
House
this?
2 for 2. Give him the deuce.
All right, go ahead and talk down on
Schematic
Paul.
advantage, Rick over
What did
here.
Paul do wrong there?
Undecided schematic advantage.
It was a
Paul
fun game for us, and for them maybe not so much. We scored, I think, 5 runs in the first inning. You guys got the score sheets, or not? Yeah. And then
There were just so
and
many
they just
fucking
kind of
score
chipped
sheets this week,
away,
you
and
can't
then we
tell.
chipped away. But it was a 1-run game there for a little bit, and then we pulled ahead at the end, and it was never in doubt. Paul, I'm really sorry. I like Santos. Most people don't, but I do. He's a great guy.
You know, I think the Santos consensus has turned a corner this year since he's been such a sweetheart.
Is that called damning with faint praise? You know, but actually the most enjoyable part of that game was the obliterated reffing crew of Das Boot and Woost. Dan was slurring his words. Has anybody ever heard Dan slur his words before?
I have.
Yes.
Oh, it's a common occurrence. Well, I never had. I've always known him as a pretty together guy. Hey, you motherfucker, she's fucking out. Get out of here.
That sounds just like him.
And that was the ball game.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wish I missed that.
That was great.
That's awesome.
That was a great anecdote to end on. Okay, before we move on to discussion questions, we have the final standings for the Pick'em Challenge. We got, bringing up the rear here, Matt at 13-13. Kathy, who is following Slipknot right now at 15-11.
Another concert? Another concert?
Yeah.
You mean
She never
CJ's second
ceases
set
to
of
amaze
picks?
me.
Right.
My alternate set of picks.
Right.
Cougar finished third at 17-9.
I'm not last place.
Ben finished 18-8, and then I rigged it and totally won. I was 19-7. Really, the only game that separated us was the Woost and Sacred Sword game.
Yeah, I feel like I lost by not winning, even though I didn't actually have to buy anybody drinks.
Yeah.
Also-
but since Matt and Kathy aren't here, Cougar, you have to buy us drinks.
Yep. Yeah.
What the hell?
Cougar, you're the de facto loser. But
Yeah.
Kathy has to take us to a Marilyn Manson concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? What the fuck is this?
You agreed
Yeah.
to the rules
Hey,
beforehand.
Cougar.
What rules? I had to do this when they don't show up? Damn it.
All right. On to
Cougar,
the
in case you're
discussion
wondering,
questions.
makers up.
Oh my gosh.
All right. First discussion question. Who is the best team you played this year? Seth, we'll start with you.
This was a tough choice for us, but the team that just totally kicked our ass was Muddy Waters. I mean,
Okay.
we hung tough with KTC. We hung tough with Channel 6. Happy Shirt, whatever, they're Happy Shirt. But Muddy Waters, they dominated us. They outbunted us, which doesn't happen often. They played great defense. I mean, it's not as controversial now to say because they're the number 2 seed overall in the tournament, but they're a total, I don't want to say dark horse to win the championship, but they're just probably not going to be everybody's pick to win the championship, and they can do it. They can definitely do it. So
Nice that you left us off that list, you dick.
You guys beat us by 1 also.
All right. Liz?
I think this past weekend aside, I would have to say Red Legs was probably our toughest game.
Okay.
We obviously really wanted to win under the lights, but I think they brought out the best in us, even though we didn't win. I think I had what was my best defensive game of the season against them, and I mean, a lesser team probably wouldn't have resulted in such an awesome performance. Overall, we came back to try and win it, but just couldn't hang on, so Red Legs.
All right. Megan?
I'm going to have to go with Channel 6. I know we played this game pretty closely and we lost by greater margins to some other teams, but I just think that they're a well-rounded team. When they have their core group there, they hardly make any errors. I mean, I think sometimes they play down to certain teams, but they can always lift it up if they need to. And they're really hard to rattle, like physically or emotionally. Even if they're down, they're just going to come right back.
Yeah. Okay. Coog?
The only thing I'd say is out of the same division as ours, Amelia Earhart, which would have been Muddy Waters, Goats, and Mara Chalmers. And I don't think we set here is I would say Muddy Waters there and not. A lot of teams, Avery. Thank you. So I would say Muddy Waters is the best there. They're maybe the ones that are finally living their potential, but all these years about Muddy Waters, they're talented, and they find a way to basically lay an egg. You might write that this might be the year they live with the potential of actually go far in the tournament because these past 2 years they find a way to basically lose early. So I would say Muddy Waters. So
yeah. All right. For me, I went with KTC. They are probably the most fundamentally sound team that I've played against all year. They're really fucking fast. They're so aggressive out on the base paths. They're just a really great team, top to bottom, to play against. And that was my choice. Ben?
You know what I noticed about them, maybe more so than any other team, is that they don't compound mistakes.
No.
It's not just that they're solid all around, it's that they won't allow one mistake to create another. And that's something that, even with some of the top
I
teams,
did not
that shit
see
happens.
one hero throw. I didn't see.
That's the thing. KTC has a great just baseball sense. They hit the cutoff man when they need to hit the cutoff man. They don't hero throw, and if they do, it's an amazing Kenny leap out of nowhere to save 2 runs type of thing. But they're just solid. Like you said, you're not going to rattle them.
Yeah. Ben?
I'm going to say I got 2.
Okay.
Sacred Sword and Where's My Pitches because I couldn't fucking pick their games right since they win or lose every week. No, it's probably a tie between Love Garden and Free State. I think kind of similar teams. I think Love Garden maybe plays the small ball better. I think Free State maybe has the better leg outside of Spencer, as this last week proved. But both teams are very solid. Both kick really well, both field really well, and both are going to be tough outs.
Real quickly, you don't notice anything right now? Everyone picked him? Nobody said Happy Shirts. Interesting.
Well, we didn't play them.
Very interesting, yeah.
I wanted to say Wild Man because I reffed, 2.5 of their games, and I felt like there were so many close calls in that game, it almost felt like I was playing against one of the teams.
Oh, yeah, that Muddy Waters Wild Man game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. Similar question, but just a different answer, hopefully. What was the most fun game for you?
Most fun game for me for the Free State Growlers was definitely our game against Wildman, or again, not Wildman, against not Wildman. We lost that game.
Mean your head.
No, it was the game against Red Lion. We had played Red Lion, I don't know, 5-6 times since I've been on the team, and we'd never beat them. We hadn't really even gotten close to them, and so that was, we were both 4-0. We knew winner was going to get to go on the 1 seeds and get their asses kicked a few times, but we still wanted to win it, and it was contentious as could be. We were yelling at each other, but we got to shotgun a beer at the end of the game, and that's kind of what KBKL is all about. So that was our most fun game of the year for sure.
Yeah, we lost the game, but I felt like the biggest losers in that game were the refs, because afterwards all the players were fine.
Speaking of Red Lion,
I apologize again to all the refs in that game.
Speaking of the Red Lion, they are this week's sponsor.
Yeah!
944 Massachusetts. They have a Firestone Walker tap takeover this Thursday.
Brian's got a secret menu put together. We've got
Yes.
like root beer floats on there.
Yeah.
If you accidentally find a foosball in your drink, you're probably down there.
That too.
If you find yourself face down on tile after being at the replay, probably at the Red Lion.
Or just running over there because the fucking replay bathroom sucks.
If you walk out a back door and an alarm goes off, probably at the Lion.
Yeah, probably. All right, Liz.
I'm gonna have to say Red Lion too. We got to share a dugout because it was hot as fucking balls that day, and we had to be in the shade. And we drank beer together all game. We shotgunned a beer at the end of the day, and it was a good time.
Yep, for expediency's sake, I'm just going to mirror Liz's comments and say our funnest game was against the Rockets too. Close game, high-scoring game, super hot, shared dugout. Everybody had a lot of good fun.
You guys didn't have as much fun against us?
Well, I mean,
obviously not.
We won the Rockets game.
There you go. Megan?
I would say ours was game of the week this year with the Woost.
Nice.
I feel like it was the first big game of the week. We had Ryan Wise come out to do the national anthem. We had shenanigans. We had gourmet Jello shots. Everybody had a little bit of glory on both teams, and it was just fun. And
Cool.
everybody likes playing under the lights, so
Yeah.
Well, maybe not Liz.
Yeah. Cool.
Go sit down, Liz.
You know what? I'm going to say against Johnny's Tavern. Even though it was a game where basically gave 3 home runs to them, which is sort of shocking.
What's the mentor versus the pupil match?
Wait, you picked a loss as your most fun game?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Seriously, yeah. No, I'm dead serious. Is that
Okay.
I got to know some of these guys from Johnny's Tavern. Lauren, Tyler. Of course, I know Austin over the years. Tim, my former subordinate there. It was a great time, playing those guys.
I love that you call him your former subordinate.
Yeah, I know. I do keep reminding him that's my former subordinate. And try to boss him like being so, even though.
Yeah. Cougar, repeat after me.
What's that?
Protege.
Subordinate.
Yep.
Nope.
I like it. I like it.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, for me, it was, week, I want to say 7, where we had the doubleheader, the first one against Free State in Muddy Waters. It was kind of like a dress rehearsal for the doubleheader this week and then for the playoffs. And we didn't play well, but we played well enough to win against 2 quality opponents. And, Seth being another New Mexico person, I like playing against all the people from New Mexico.
I was going to say, Wildman has fun?
Huh?
I thought you were just not going to answer that question. Be like, no games were fun.
Yeah, no.
Well, he picked 2 victories. It's
Yeah,
exactly.
The day that we went 2-0, that was the best.
Yeah, exactly.
hate fuck fun.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't pick the Leafy Greens game, so
Right, there you go.
A win for everyone. All right. What was the best or the weirdest play you saw this year?
Wow.
Seth?
Let's see. Best or weirdest play? Well, the best play that I saw was the Kenny play that we referenced earlier. That was incredible. I don't know about weirdest, but the
You could just be either. If you want to just go with best.
okay,
that's cool.
yeah, the best. Let's say the best kick that I saw was in that Channel 6 Happy Shirt game at 7:00 at Hobbs. I don't know his name. Their first baseman, Channel 6's first baseman, came up and just bombed one to left. Where Chris Ford, who's playing left field for Happy Shirt, is already playing deep. He drop steps, turns his back completely to infield and sprints, and it still gets over him for a triple in the ninth inning. It was probably the furthest kick I've ever seen in KBKL. So that's one that sticks out to me.
I'm going to go with weirdest play was from the Happy Shirt Wildman game this last week with the odd throw from the outfield to get Turtle out by third base, whatever that luck was.
Oh my
That's the
God, that was
weirdest.
ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the strangest things happen when you're under pressure. I don't think you guys could. Well, they couldn't have done that again if they tried. But yeah, that's weirdest.
Yeah, because I mean, if he fields it cleanly, like Turtle probably gets back, or if he misses the ball completely, Turtle gets back. So like, it just happened to be a fucking serendipitous play where it just a fucking happy accident.
Yep.
Like Bob Ross, but yeah.
It's better to be lucky than good. Is that what it is? It's better to be lucky than good.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it is better to be lucky than good. Megan?
I chose a weird play, and I still don't get it to this day. I think it was during the game of the week where it was Screamers versus Where's My Pitches?
Yeah.
And they were tied. It was, I think, the bottom of the ninth, and Screamers had the chance to at least, or no, they were down by one. They had at least the ability to tie, if not win.
Yeah.
Bases were loaded. McCray was up. And I don't know what he was thinking. All he had to do was get it to the field, and he has a leg, and he bunted it.
He did bunt. That was
And
weird.
it dropped right in front of the catcher, who just pretty much stood there, picked it up, and tapped his toe, and that was it. And yeah,
No, was that it, or did Vaughn actually field the ball?
no,
and then
he dropped it right at home. It
He
was,
did. You're right.
And
that was
even,
weird.
I think he didn't even tell the third baseman. The third baseman just looked shocked. He was like, "Why wouldn't you at least signal me if you were?" It didn't even look like a suicide squeeze. It just was a dead play.
Yeah.
So that was the weirdest one that
That
I
was
still don't
weird,
understand.
Coog?
I don't know about weird plays there, but the best plays there, I mean, I'll go back to Giants Tavern. I mean, the way they're bombing over me at pitcher, he almost made a home run over at YSC Field number 3. So, number one was like Rick Wild Thing Vaughn. What's that? You almost make yours, but I got you out, on third there because you try to go past it there, Tim. Nice try. So, anyways, too slow. But anyway, though, the way that Cody was bombing it, the other guy was bombing it, I was like, wow, that's really far. So,
All right.
that was good. So.
For me, I had two plays. The one Turtle had this past weekend, that was just a weird fucking play. And then also the game against Leafy Greens, where our player Megan.
Was it the face shot?
The face shot.
Yeah, no, it wasn't it was the face shot, and it bounced up off the Leafy Greens player, and Megan kind of crouched down to avoid being hit by the face shot, and it just hit her while she
By
crouched
all
down.
means necessary, man.
Yeah,
That's right.
just a weird play.
By hook
Ben?
or by crook.
That's the face-off out.
Yeah.
I got a bunch. So, top of my list, probably Liz getting Lath out in the game of the week. That was pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Lerner, I think
Thanks,
is.
Ben.
I think Lerner is 4 for 4, gunning down people trying to go to third from left field this season.
Oh wow.
His arm is unbelievable. Like, you wouldn't think it to look at him. He's kind of a slight-looking guy, but he just rifles it and hits people right where it counts. Yeah.
In the balls.
Well, close enough anyway. In that area. Then another one I saw was reffing the Bagels game against the Franks, and Drew in center field dove and caught one, full extension, laid out. He was so far off the ground when he caught it that when he came down he bounced, and he still held on to it. That was pretty amazing. And then just like a confluence of plays, got to be Tree Cares come back and win against Happy Shirt to give them their first loss in a couple of years, because that entire series was kind of unbelievable
What were they down?
to watch.
How many runs were they down in the ninth inning?
Oh God, 3. Yeah, and they
Down
scored
3.
5, I think, or something like that. Yeah, with 2 outs.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
wild. Okay.
Yeah, that one's on ESPN Classic this week, I'm pretty sure already. Yeah.
All right. So I think that's going to put a bow on this podcast. Thanks again to the Red Line. What do you got?
This week, when you're playing in the tournament, you are self-cleanup. Everyone take care of yourself, please.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll talk about
the
that
field, Aaron.
during
Talk about
Cougar
the
After
fields.
Dark as well.
What special thing happens on the fields this week?
Be sure to check where you play, what time you play, and sadly for the bottom 8 teams, you will play at YSC for your first game at 3:30, and should you lose, you will have to jump in your car and drive to Holcomb Red. We're very sorry, but we didn't have enough fields at YSC to keep
That's
you out
okay.
there.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right.
It happens.
All right. Well, thanks again to our sponsor, Red Line Tavern, 944 Massachusetts. Firestone
Drink up.
Walker Tap Takeover on Thursday. That's it, I guess. Thanks again to Rick and the Jazz House.
Woo! Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for hosting us every week. This has been a delight. Our guest, Seth Super Sports Sanchez.
Coming for you, Ben. Red Lion, Free State rematch. Sorry,
ready.
refs.
We'll talk about this in a little bit at Cougar After Dark. Liz Schaefer.
Pew pew.
Megan, the better half Hallman.
I go my D-holes.
Jason Cougar Huang.
Lily King's my hero. Just want you to know.
Yeah, she is.
Ben Hutnick.
Pick up your trash, stay new to your puppies.
I am CJ Cobra Kai. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back in a little bit for Cougar After Dark.
Woo!
Yes.